So, look at these pictures. What do they all have in common? If you say they are all made up of brick, then you're right. All of these things are made up of the same basic building block, which are the brick. Pieces by pieces, they are stacked until they become a perfectly built structure. So, this same concept applies to a multicellular organism. Like the buildings, we all have a common basic building blocks, which are called cells. Cells are the basic building blocks of life. This does not only include humans. Animals such as cats, dogs, ducks, horse, spiders, or plants such as grass, hibiscus flowers, roses, the trees around you. All these things are made up of the common building blocks, which are called cells. So, in this lesson, we are going much further into the cells and learn about the processes it does. However, in this video, we shall specifically focus on humans only. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to correlate the uniqueness of specialized cell structures with their functions correctly after being shown an image. Before we get started, you should know that cells come in different size, shape, and arrangement, and are specialized to carry specific functions. For example, here we have red blood cell and white blood cells. As the name suggests, it can both be found in your blood. Red blood cells are shaped as a biconcave disc and does not contain a nucleus. It functions to optimize transportation of oxygen. Next, we have white blood cell. It can change shapes and it functions in destroying pathogens. Next, we have muscle cells and epithelial cells. These two cells are vastly different in terms of their appearance and shapes. So let's take a closer look at them. Muscle cells are arranged as multinucleated striated fibers. It contracts and relaxes to generate movement. While epithelial cells are thin and flat cells, it coats the surface of organs such as the digestive tracts. Lastly, we have two different kinds of cells which both plays a very important roles in our body. Nerve cells are also known as neuron. It is long and thin in shape and it sends nerve impulses to our brains. Next, sperm cells has a long tail to enable it to swim towards the ovum in the fallopian tube. The head carries a set of chromosomes from the male. Alright, that is all. So let's have a little quiz before we end our lesson today. Can you tell me what is it called and what's their function? Pause if you need more time to think. Welcome back. If your answer is epithelial cells, then you are right. Notice in the picture how it is very thin and flat. Epithelial cells act as a coat to cover the surface of your organs. And that is all for today's lesson. Today, you have learned about the 6 different kinds of cells, which are red blood cell, white blood cells, muscle cells, epithelial cells, nerve cells, and sperm cells. You have also learned about their structures and also their functions. Before we end our lessons, I want to tell you that cells is the first level of organization in multicellular organism. The next steps are tissue, organ, system, and lastly, a multicellular organism, which will be covered in the next lesson. And that is all for today's lesson. Thank you for paying attention until the end. See you next time. Bye-bye.